In this video, we'll take a look at the prop types package. Oftentimes, as we implement additional features into our app, we may carelessly pass in props as an unintended data type and find ourselves constantly debugging our application. To better illustrate what I'm trying to get to, right now, inside of our main component, we're creating a new instance of photo wall. And that instance passes down two props. One prop which specifies the current state of our component's posts, which we're going to map over and display our photos, and another prop of a function, the function that's responsible for removing a certain photo. Let's just assume that instead of our function, by accident, I pass in some object, like so. I have an extra one? Alright. And then inside a photo wall, we're passing in this empty object to each photo that we're mapping over, which doesn't make any sense. We cannot invoke an empty object. So if I go to the browser, and if I try to press the remove button, obviously it yells at us. Now this is a very obvious example and would be quite easy to debug. But when your app's architecture gets more complex, the more props you declare, you're bound to get careless and make some mistakes. In our case, we need to make sure that no matter what, an array and a function are always passed in through these props, not an object. And that's where prop types come in. The package that I spoke about earlier in this lesson, it allows us to specify the required types that must be passed in. Otherwise, it throws us a big error and tells us where we messed up. To use the dependency I just spoke about, we must install it. Inside of your terminal, make sure you're navigated to your projects directory. And if you are, npm install -- save. We're going to install prop types. And I will install version 15.5.7. Alternatively, if you've been using Yarn to install your packages, you can feel free to use it instead of npm. Once you install it, you can go ahead and restart your server. npm start. And back into photowall.js, we're going to import prop types from the package we just installed, prop types. And we'll give our component, our functional component, a property. So photowall dot, and we'll give it a property of prop types, equal to an object, and this object will have as many prop types as the amount of props that are being passed into the photo wall component. In this case, it will have two prop types, one for posts and one for onRemove photo. The two properties will then be called post and onRemove photo. The first property we're going to specify as a mandatory prop type of an array by setting its value equal to prop types.array. What we're saying is whatever prop in the form of posts that's being passed in from the component instance, it must be an array, nothing else. Otherwise, throw us a big error and indicate to the user that they messed up their props. We can also specify if that prop is required or not by writing .is required. So if there are no posts being passed into our photo wall component as props, then once again, throw a big error. Tell the developer that he forgot to pass in his posts. And now it's your turn to try and set up the prop type for onRemove photo. Pause the video and try it out. So what you would do is specify it as a prop type. And the prop type that we receive in the form of onRemove photo, it must be a function, nothing else. So write .func. And indeed, that prop is required. We need it to give our remove buttons the functionality of actually removing the photos. If we don't actually get this onRemove photo prop, throw us a big error telling us that we forgot. While we're still passing in this empty object as our prop for onRemove photo, the prop type should yell at us, hey, that's supposed to be a function, fix it. So if I go to my browser, open up Developer Tools, And there is our big warning. Failed prop type. Invalid prop on remove photo of type object supplied to photo wall. So it expected a function, but we put in an object instead. So it yells at us, this shouldn't be an object. Perfect indication that we should put in a function instead. So let's put back our remove photo function. This dot remove photo. That was so clear. Right away, it gives us a big warning and tells us that we messed up before we even tried to test the remove button. What if I don't include the prop at all? Delete it, and the browser should tell us that the prop is required, but its value is undefined. So basically, as we remove it, it automatically recognizes that we're missing a prop. And so, to satisfy our error, let's put the function back and leave everything the way it was. Now try and specify the prop types for the photo functional component. Pause the video and try it out. So just like before, give the function a property, photo, and the property will simply be prop types. We're giving the function prop types equal to an object, and the props being passed into our photo component is a single post, and the function that comes along with the prop of onRemovePhoto. Whatever props that's being passed into the photo instance, make sure this matches the spelling as the prop types that you're specifying. What you would do now is make sure that post is a prop type. Oh, forgot to import it. Import prop types. Just going to capitalize that. From prop types. Now make sure posts is a prop type of an object, dot object. That's always required. And on remove photo, make sure it is a prop type of a function. That's always required as well. If it's not there, throw a big error. If you want to go ahead and test this by messing around with the props, it's going to give us the same errors as what you saw before until we fix them. And that is it for prop types. They will most definitely save you the headache of debugging certain parts of your application. In the next video, we'll look at some lifecycle methods.